It's that time, guys. We're going to start our STAAR review week this week. And this week we only have 3 days to work on solving. So I need you to pause the video. You need to make sure that you have some paper for notes. Okay, from now on, every single note that you take, you need to start putting it in your envelope so that you can get you ready for the STAAR. We're going to start off with the steps to solving equations. And I know you remember them. Make sure that you're writing these down. Solving equations, the steps. Step number 1, if you see parentheses, okay, make sure you get rid of those parentheses by distributing. Okay. Step number 2, if you see things that look alike on the same side, you're going to combine like terms. Okay. Step number 3, if you see that the variable is on both sides, you need to move them to one side. So we're going to move the smallest one. Move the smallest variable. And step number 4, once you're done with all of these steps, then you're going to see do. What do you see happening with the variable? And you're going to do the opposite of it. Okay, so those are the notes that you need for today's worksheet. For today, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to be solving all week. And we're going to go ahead and start with problem number 1, a quick example, and then continue from there. So you're going to write down the problem here. We have 4x plus 20 equals 8. And we're going to follow the steps that we just wrote down. Okay, well, step number 1 says to distribute. There is no parentheses, so we're not going to distribute. Step number 2 says combine like terms. Well, these two don't look alike. And this one's by itself on the other side, so there's nothing to combine either. Step number 3 says move the smallest variable. But this is the only variable we see, so I'm not going to move anything. And step number 4 is see do. So this problem only needs to do the see do part. So see do. What do you see happening with the x? The x is being multiplied by 4. So it's being multiplied by 4. And I put parentheses for multiplication. And they are adding 20 to it. So plus 20. And remember, we always work from the bottom up. So we're going to subtract 20 first. You're doing the opposite. So subtract 20 from both sides so that it can cancel. 8 minus 20. Put it in the calculator. Gives you negative 12. And bring everything else down. Okay, the opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by 4. Divide by 4 on both sides so that the 4 can cancel. X equals negative 3. So this is easy stuff that we've done since September and October, okay? And we're practicing it again because we know that it's going to be on the STAAR. Okay? Problem number 2, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, you're going to draw the line and see do. But I need you to remember that if you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, you're going to have to flip the sign. And I'm talking about that sign. Okay, so if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you're going to have to flip that sign. So go ahead and I need you to work this out like we did number 1. And then you can check the answer in the back later on and see if you got it right or wrong. Okay, I'm going to skip to problem number, you're going to do all of these. You're going to do number 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show you how to do number 5 so you know how to do problem number 6. And then you're going to do the back problems. And you're going to check your answers in the back. And remember, I need you to try your hardest. Don't just copy answers down because that's not going to help you on the STAAR. Okay, so for this one, they give you an X and a Y. Okay, so every time you have an X and a Y, make sure that it's solved for X. And if it's not solved for X, that's the first thing you need to do. Solve for Y, my bad. You need to solve for Y. So if it's not in Y equals form, you need to solve for Y first. Okay? Because it's telling you that you have -7, Y. So we need to figure out that. I'm going to write down the equation that they gave me. 2x minus 7y equals 42. I'm going to draw the line and I'm going to solve for y. So I'm going to C-do. Okay. I want to know what's happening to the y. So right here, what is the y doing? It's multiplying by a -7. So multiplying by -7. And this is a positive 2x, so they're adding, right? They're adding 2x. So plus 2x. And you're going to do the opposite of that. So I'm going to subtract 2x first. Minus 2x to get rid of it. Okay, this cancels. These two are not the same, so you're just going to read it and write it. That's 42 minus 2x. So you're going to write 42 minus 2x. They're not the same, so you don't subtract them. Equals, bring this down, -7y. Then you're going to do the opposite of multiplication. So you're going to divide by -7. Divide this by -7, divide this by -7, divide this by -7. So I can cancel. Y equals. Okay, you're going to put the other stuff in the calculator. So in the calculator, I need you to put this 42 divided by -7. See what that gives you. And then divide -2 by -7. Math, enter, and see what that gives you. (42) divided by -7 is a -6, and -2 divided by -7, math, enter in the calculator gives you a positive 2/7x because the negatives cancel each other out. Okay, so this is the equation you're going to use. And we're going to put this equation in y equals, and we're going to go to second graph. Why do I want to go to second graph? Because I want to go look for this point. Okay? I want to go look for that point. So in the table, you're going to go look for -7 and see what that number is that goes here when you have -7 in place of x, because it says -7 comma something. I'm looking for that something. What is that number that makes it true? And then that's what you're going to do, the same thing for number 6. Okay? Once you do that, then you can go ahead and do the back problems. And if there's one that you don't understand, ask Miss Bencourt or the sub, or check the worksheet in the back with the answers.